previous class about how the kingdom Monera has certain characteristics, right? We had discussed about the mode of nutrition as well.
Yeah, we finished that.
Okay. Now, today we're going to see the groups that come under the kingdom Monera. See, the kingdom Monera, if we look at the certain groups of bacteria or the groups that are there, first we have archaebacteria, we have eubacteria, and then we have mycoplasma. Now, do you remember when we were talking about the cell wall? I said that all the members of kingdom Monera, they have the cell wall except, you
The
remember, except?
archaebacteria and the eubacteria.
No. Archaebacteria and the
Bacteria and the yeah.
eubacteria has. Okay. So we are going to see now about each of them. Now, see, archaebacteria, these are so unique is that since they do not have any cell wall present in them, okay, it makes them survive in very harsh conditions. Like they can survive normally a cell, whether it is prokaryotic, whether it is eukaryotic, a normal cell cannot survive in high salt concentration. The cell will burst. Okay. So archaebacteria can survive even in the high salt concentration. And those members of archaebacteria that can live in the high salt concentration, we call them as halophiles. Okay. Then there are some archaebacteria that can even be living properly, like normally in the hot springs, meaning the hot water bodies that we have. They live there, and those are known as thermoacidophiles. And then there are some archaebacteria that live in the marshy areas. Marshy areas meaning where the damp areas are present. Apart from that, they also are found in the digestive system of cows and buffaloes. So these type of archaebacteria are known as methanogens. Why methanogens? Is because they produce methane. When they do their respiration and everything, they produce methane, which is a gas that can be used as a fuel. Okay. So that is why, like, see, these methanogens are present in the gut or the digestive system of cows and buffaloes. So usually in the village areas, what people do is that people have a biogas plant. What they do is that they collect the cow dung and the dungs from buffalo into that, it's a very big cylinder. Okay. They start collecting it over there. And because of methanogens, they get digested. Okay. And a gas is released, that is methane. And this gas is supplied through pipelines throughout the whole village for cooking as a fuel.
From the animal. From the animal.
No, not from the animal, from the dung of the animal, the excreta.
Okay.
Okay, that excreta, like in the villages, what happens is that the excreta of cows and buffaloes are collected. Okay, and once they are collected, they are put in a cylinder-like structure which is like present below the ground. And slowly in that, decomposition starts happening, and that is caused by methanogens only. And because of methanogens, a methane gas is produced by the decomposition. Okay, now this gas is supplied to the whole houses, like different houses for cooking and whatever purpose, because it is a fuel. It can be burned. Clear? So archaebacteria further are of three types: halophiles, thermoacidophiles, methanogens. They can survive in harsh conditions. And why, if somebody asks you, so you can say that because they do not have a cell wall present. Yeah. Now, after that comes the eubacteria. Now see, the word eu means true. So these are the bacteria that are true bacteria. They have a proper rigid cell wall present, which will be made up of peptidoglycan. And apart from that, they have a flagella present. Flagella is, for example, if this is a cell, it is a tail-like structure which will help the cell to move. So it helps the bacteria to move. So they have two things which are very, you can say, perfect about them, is that they have a rigid cell wall and they have a flagella. Now, eubacteria, they are photosynthetic autotrophs, meaning they can make their food by the process of photosynthesis. Why? Because they have chlorophyll A present in them. Because this pigment is present and chlorophyll A, like photosynthesis can be done only when chlorophyll is present, isn't it? That is why
Yeah.
plants can do photosynthesis. So this bacteria also has chlorophyll, because of which it can perform photosynthesis. Now, under the eubacteria comes the cyanobacteria. Okay, cyanobacteria are actually the ones that are also known as blue-green algae, BGA. Okay, don't confuse it with being an algae. It's not an algae, it's a cyanobacteria. It contains the green pigment and it is photosynthetic. Clear?
It's not the algae though.
No, it's not algae. It is blue-green algae. It is named as such because it looks like, gives the appearance of an algae, but it's not.
Okay.
So now talking about the cyanobacteria, see, the cyanobacteria can be of three types. It can be unicellular, present as one cell. It can be colonial, when many cells come together and form a colony. Or it can be filament-like, filamentous. According to the habitat, see, this cyanobacteria can be, you can say, it is very vast in terms of its habitat because it is found in fresh water, it is found in marine water, and it is found in the terrestrial habitats as well. So when we talk about the fresh water, so you can find cyanobacteria in ponds and lakes. As far as the marine goes, you can find them in the sea and the ocean as well, and on the land. So they are very diverse with respect to their habitat. Now, what one thing is very unique about them, that the cyanobacteria, if they are forming a colony or if they are in a filamentous form, so that will be surrounded by a sheath, a layer that is gelatinous. Gelatinous means jelly-like. Okay, a jelly-like layer will be surrounding them. Now, like the two most important examples of cyanobacteria are nostoc and anabaena. And they have a very special property that they can do nitrogen fixation. They can take the nitrogen which is present in the atmosphere and
use
make
it
it
in plants.
available to the plants. Yes, very good. So they can do nitrogen fixation. Now, there is one like this nostoc is a filamentous blue-green algae or a filamentous cyanobacteria. And as I said, that whether it is filamentous or whether it is colonial, it will have a gelatinous or a mucilage layer surrounding. Now, they like nostoc can do nitrogen fixation because it has a special cell for it in its body, and that cell is known as heterocyst. It is a specialized cell that contains, now what is there, what is so special in that cell that it can perform nitrogen fixation? See, in the body of the nostoc, there are two types of cells. One is the heterocyst, only one. And then the other cells of the body are known as the vegetative cells. Now, vegetative cells cannot do this thing, nitrogen fixation, but only the heterocyst can. Now, why? Because this heterocyst, they contain the enzyme which is known as nitrogenase. Nitrogenase enzyme is very important for nitrogen fixation, which is, done by the cyanobacteria. That is why, because of the presence of heterocyst, the cyanobacteria, particularly nostoc, can do nitrogen fixation. Clear? Now, this nitrogen fixation is actually an anaerobic process, mostly, meaning it can happen in the absence of oxygen. For all those processes that happen in the presence of oxygen, they are aerobic. Clear? Any doubts up until now?
No.
Okay. Now moving forward, we'll talk about chemosynthetic autotrophic. We had discussed about photosynthetic autotrophic. Now, chemosynthetic autotrophic. Here, the pigment chlorophyll is not there. Instead of that, the organism will be using certain inorganic substances, meaning the substances that are not found in the body. So, oxidation of inorganic substances and uses the energy released for formation of ATP. So here, instead of light, certain chemicals are used And those chemicals are known as the inorganic substances, such as nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia. Okay, meaning these things are used for making their food. Apart from that, since they use the inorganic substances, so they in one way are recycling, isn't it? Because they're using it, changing it into some other form. That is recycling. Now, now this was about the autotrophic bacteria. Now coming on to the heterotrophic. They cannot make their own food, right? So majority of them are decomposers. They will
Anaerobic.
They are anaerobic. Very good. And what they will do is that whatever like dead and decaying stuff is there, they will procure their nutrition from that. But the heterotrophic bacteria are of great importance to us human beings. We use them in a variety of ways, such as they help in the making of curd from milk. You know, like whenever we change the milk into curd, we use one kind of bacteria, that is lactobacillus. Now, this bacteria is present in the milk only. Okay. And it's also present in curd, actually. It's present in curd. So you might have seen that whenever your mother prepares curd, she takes curd of the previous batch and puts it into the milk, right? And leaves it for overnight. And then the whole milk turns into curd. So this happens because of lactobacillus or lactic acid bacteria. Lactic acid is present in the milk. So this bacteria will act on the milk and start coagulating it, because of which curd is formed. Now, apart from that, there are certain bacteria that help in the antibiotic production, such as streptomyces. Then, apart from that, they help in nitrogen fixation in the legume roots. There are certain legume plants such as pulses, dal, all of those are leguminous plants. Now, leguminous plants.
Streptomyces?
Streptomyces is the bacteria that helps in the antibiotic production.
Okay.
Streptomyces. Okay. And this thing. See, the leguminous plants and their roots, what happens is that the legume plants require a lot of nitrogen for their development. This nitrogen is actually provided to them by a bacteria that is known as rhizobium. Now, what rhizobium does is that it it attaches itself onto the root of the legume plants. Okay, it goes and it attaches into the root of the legume plants, and when it is attached to the root, it does the nitrogen fixation in the soil, and because of that, it makes the nitrogen available to the legume plants. Okay, so that is why it is again very important. Now, if we want to grow legume plants, so we know that nitrogen fixation will take place in that because of the rhizobium bacteria. Now, another thing, since the legume roots, they have rhizobium attached onto it for nitrogen fixation. So if legume plants, you have planted legume plants. Now, if you want to plant a non-legume plant, any other plant, you know, this legume plant will provide nutrition to this plant, like the whatever plant you're planting. So see, it's so helpful to us again. Now, this is as far as the health goes. Now, bacteria are very detrimental also. They are very harmful for us also, because there are so many bacteria that cause diseases in humans and animals as well. So now see, this is the list of the diseases that is caused by the bacteria in humans, such as tetanus, pneumonia, plague, tuberculosis, leprosy, cholera, diphtheria, typhoid, and citrus canker. All of these are the bacterial diseases of human beings. Now, they have not left anything alone. We have cattle diseases also, meaning diseases of the animals. So, anthrax, it happens in the cases of cattle, such as cows and buffaloes. And then there is botulism, which is happening in some other animals, but anthrax and botulism, these are the bacterial diseases of animals. So apart from giving us whatever they can, they cause diseases also. Clear? Any doubts up until now?
No.
Now, we have discussed about the nutrition. Now let us discuss about the reproduction in the case of bacteria. Now,
Ma'am, is it similar to amoeba?
What, dear?
The reproduction, is it similar to amoebas?
It is. Because see, amoeba and bacteria, both of them do asexual reproduction, majorly, right? So, even in the case of bacteria, the primary reproduction is fission. Binary fission happens in amoeba, right?
Yeah.
Fission happens in bacteria as well. Now, whenever there is favorable condition for them, meaning correct temperature, correct pH and everything is there, they will reproduce by fission. Now, what happens in the fission? First, the nucleus, or sorry, not the nucleus, they do not have the nucleus. First, the genetic material, they start getting divided. And once they divide, they start getting to the opposite poles. After the genetic material has divided, then the cell, if this is a cell, then the cell starts dividing by deepening like this, and ultimately two cells are formed. Okay, so first the genetic material divides and then the cell divides. This is how the cell division happens, or the fission happens in the case of bacteria. And from one parent cell, there is the production of two daughter cells. And they will be exact copy of the parent cell, because if you see it in one way, this is parent cell only, right? Parent cell divided into two. That is a parent and a daughter in one, isn't it? So this is fission. This is the main mode of reproduction. Now, in the unfavorable condition, meaning when their nutrition, pH, temperature is not favorable for them, so then they reproduce by spore formation. Okay, they start sort of, just like if unfavorable conditions are there, they start covering themselves and making us like endospore. Okay, they start forming a cyst-like structure. And in that, they will start dividing and dividing. And once the favorable conditions arrive, they will burst and release the spores. That is spore formation. But apart from now, spore formation is also asexual reproduction.
Ma'am, like in how it is in hydrangea or something? For hydrangea.
What?
The spore formation, how it is like that.
Like how spore formation also takes place in the fungus?
Yeah.
Same way. Yeah, same way. But this is very rare. It's not that common. The main method is fission routine. Now, fission and spore formation, both of them are actually asexual reproduction methods. There is one very common method of sexual reproduction as well in bacteria, which is known as transduction. It is the most primitive type of DNA transfer. Most primitive. Here, what happens is that DNA transfer takes place from one bacteria to another with the help of a virus which is known as bacteriophage. There are certain viruses that infect bacteria. Okay. Now, what viruses do is that they can infect the organism and send their own genetic material into the organism. Okay, so whenever we want to do the transduction process, so we can put the bacterial genetic material into the bacteriophage, and when this bacteriophage will infect the other bacteria, it will transfer the genetic material to it. That is transduction. Okay, it's not naturally occurring process. It can be done with the help of bacteria. Clear? Any doubts?
No.
Okay. Now talking about mycoplasma. Now they are mad. They are literally mad. They do not have any cell wall present. They are the tiniest organism in the world. They're the smallest living organism. Their size is just 0.3 micrometers. Okay, they can survive even without oxygen. So they are anaerobic and they cause multiple diseases. Okay, they cause multiple diseases. And one such example of mycoplasma is Mycoplasma gallisepticum. Okay, there's nothing much to discuss about them because they are of no importance, but they are majorly disease causing, and they are unique because they do not have a cell wall present. And one more thing, it's not there in NCERT, but I'm telling you, see, whenever you'll see a mycoplasma, people have given their name as, they look sort of like a fried egg. When we half fry an egg on a pan, how does it look? It looks like this with the yolk in the middle.
Yeah.
So mycoplasma sort of gives that appearance only. And you know, they are actually known as the jokers of the kingdom. They are, because of their weird appearance. Okay.
Okay.
So this is about mycoplasma. And now with this, we have completed the first kingdom, that is kingdom Monera. We have completed it fully. Now tell me, do you have any doubts in the kingdom Monera?
Ma'am, can you teach the methanogia?
Methanogen.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that part again.
See, methanogens are a type of archaebacteria. Okay.
Yeah.
They live in the marshy areas. Now, what is so special about them? The thing that is special about them is that they can produce methane gas. Okay, there is a gas that is known as methane. It is a combustible gas, right? Whenever,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
put a fire to this gas, it will burn. So they can produce this methane gas. And this exact same bacteria, that is methanogen, is present in the gut or the digestive system of cows and buffaloes. Okay. Now,
Okay.
if they are present in the digestive system of cows and buffalo, see, the thing that I told you about the biogas plant, it is something extra that I told you. Okay.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it is from class 12th actually. This methane thing is from class 12th, but I've just told you an extra thing. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. If you don't write that, your answer will not be incomplete. Okay. I just told you so that you know why we have mentioned that they are present in the digestive system. Because this is also something that us human beings can use for our benefit. But the only thing to remember over here is that methanogens are the ones that live in marshy areas. See, the word marshy areas, this is important. Hot springs, and what kind of organism lives there, that is important. High salt concentration,
Okay.
halophiles. Hot springs, thermoacidophiles. Marshy areas, methanogens. Okay, that's all there is to know in this. And why can they live in such harsh conditions? Because they do not have a cell wall. Clear? Any
Okay.
doubts?
No.
Now moving forward, we'll move on to the next kingdom, that is kingdom Protista. Now in the kingdom Protista, single cell or unicellular eukaryotic organisms are there. Meaning those organisms,
Fully developed cell.
yeah, nuclear membrane is surrounding their nucleus, but they are not multicellular. They have just one cell in their body.
They,
Say.
they don't have cell wall, but like some of them don't have cell wall and some of them do have cell wall. Or all
That
of them have cell walls.
in this also, some of them do have cell walls, some don't.
Do have cell walls. Okay.
Okay. Now, about the kingdom Protista. Unicellular eukaryotes are present. Membrane-bound nucleus and membrane-bound cell organelles are present. Habitat mostly aquatic. They are found in water bodies. Some have flagella and cilia present. Flagella is for movement from one place to another. Cilia is not for movement, but it is for other purposes. It is like brush-like structure.
Yeah, cilia, I know. Ma'am, how is flagella look?
Flagella, it looks like this. If this is a cell, this is a flagella.
Like the hair thing. Oh,
Yeah.
that. Okay.
This is the
Okay.
filamentous things. It looks like this. Okay. Sometimes the flagella may be not so wiggly wormy. It sort of looks like this also. Simple. It's just a tail-like structure which will help in movement. Flagella is the only one that will help in movement. Now, the kingdom Protista has further been divided into these groups. There is chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds, and protozoans. All of these come under the kingdom Protista. Okay. Now, talking about chrysophytes, the first one. It contains the organisms that are known as diatoms and desmids. The common name for desmids is golden algae. Okay. So the two types of organisms that are found in chrysophytes group is known as diatoms and golden algae. Clear? Now, the habitat, they can be fresh water or they can be marine water, but they are aquatic, depending upon salt concentration. Now, they are microscopic. They're very teeny tiny, we cannot see them. They float in the water current. They just float. Sometimes the water helps them to locomote also. And they can also be called as planktons. The chrysophytes can also be called as planktons. Now, their mode of nutrition is photosynthesis, and that is an autotrophic mode of nutrition. Why? Because they will have certain pigments present from photosynthesis. Now, amongst the chrysophytes, the diatoms are very important. Okay, because many questions can come from diatoms. Now, see, diatoms, their cell wall is made up of silica. Okay, and silica is very, you can say, hard substance. It is very hard and it is very strong substance. So since silica is there in the cell wall, it makes the cell wall indestructible. It's not easy to destroy the cell wall. So the cell wall is not easily destructible, indestructible. It is indestructible. The cell wall looks like a soap box. That is, they have overlapping shells. Like how we have a soap case in our washrooms. How does it look like, right? This. So they have one upper covering of the cell wall, one lower covering. The upper one is known as epitheca. The lower one is known as hypotheca. It sort of gives the appearance of a soap box. Now, diatoms are the chief producers in the ocean. Who are the chief producers on the land?
Human beings.
All the plants.
Oh, plants, okay.
Yes. Why they are
producers, sorry, I thought producers in the sense sexual producing things. I thought maybe that we are talking.
No. This producers is that only the thing that you've read in 10th, producer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so the producers, the chief producers on the land are plants because they do photosynthesis, they provide us food. But in the ocean, the chief producers are diatoms. Okay? Now, there is a thing which is known as diatomaceous earth. See, when the diatoms die, when they are dead, their cell walls are present in the ocean only, right? Now, the cell wall has silica, so it cannot be degraded very easily and very quickly, right? So it stays there in the ocean only and it starts getting accumulated. For example, if 100 diatoms died, then 100 cell walls will be present in the ocean only. So the accumulation of the large amount of cell wall deposits in the ocean, and since it is indestructible, so it will stay there for billions and billions of years. It will not be destroyed. So it becomes the soil of that ocean. That diatom cell wall becomes the soil. Now this soil is gritty. Since silica is present, so it's very rough. It's very rough. And this is actually, again, we humans can use anything. We can make anything according to us. So this diatomaceous, this soil, since it is gritty and it is, like a very rough thing, so it is used in polishing. Because when we polish something with a rough surface, it becomes shiny. So it is used in polishing and it is used in the filtration of oils and syrups. This diatomaceous earth is very important because it gets asked many a times, like what is diatomaceous earth? How is it formed? What is the use? Clear? Any doubts up until now? Okay. Now talking about the next group, that is dinoflagellates. Now dinoflagellates, they are mostly marine and they have variety of pigments in their body. You can find dinoflagellates of variety of colors. Now, because of depending upon the pigments that are there in their body or there in the cell, they can be seen of yellow color, green color, blue color, or even red color. Okay. So their habitat is mostly marine and they are photosynthetic. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'll show you pictures so that you understand it better. What can you see on your screen?
The board only which you're presenting.
Hmm?
The board which are already presenting.
Okay. This one? Now can you see it?
I can't see the picture if you're showing any picture.
No, picture I'm not showing, but you can see the board, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now see this thing. This is how the dinoflagellates look like. Again, they are microscopic, so all of these pictures are from microscope. Okay, now see, what is that one thing that I want to show is that if you look at this picture, do you see these structures? These long structures?
Yeah.
These are the flagella.
But they're not wavy.
Yeah, as I told you, it's not
They're
necessary that they
not
will be.
always.
Yeah, they're not always wavy. It's just something I show it in a wavy form because mostly it is there in a wavy form only, but it can be present normally also. See this. Okay. All of these are the this thing, the dinoflagellate. Now, apart from that, there is one more thing. See, because they are present in the ocean, right? And some of them may be blue in color. So the whole ocean would look blue in color because of them. Okay.
Okay.
This is, yeah. And wait, I'll show you one more thing. Red tide. This is the most important phenomena with respect to the dinoflagellate. See, the sea appears red because of their multiplication. Because when they divide, when the red colored dinoflagellates divide a lot, and there are two species. There is Gymnodium and Goniolax. These are the names. So whenever they divide a lot, they make the whole sea appear red in color. And this
Ma'am, is
phenomenon,
it safe to go in the sea with the no, right?
no, it's not. Not because they are present in abundance, but because, these dinoflagellates, they secrete certain chemicals that are toxins.
Okay.
Whenever they'll think that a prey is coming, if they'll think that, they're getting harmed or something, they will secrete a toxin which can destroy people or destroy cells or organisms. Okay, so it's not safe, of course not, but this is how the sea looks like. And this phenomena is known as red tide.
Ma'am,
Just like
in the red tide it is not safe, but like in the blue tide is it safe? Or they're also the same?
I don't know about the blue tide, but in general, they are like toxin producing organisms. So it's not safe to be near them anyways, whether it is red or blue. Okay. Okay, one more thing. Let's see diatomaceous earth. Because of the cell wall, and this can be used for the whole scrubbing purpose. It is like a scrub powder. People take it, people crush it, and that is how it becomes the scrub. Okay. And this is because of the diatom. Clear? Let's see a picture of diatom also. See, again, all the pictures will be microscopic. You can't find the real picture about them. So this is all the diatoms. Clear? Nothing there is that you can relate to. You cannot relate to anything of that sort. All right. Yeah. Now, okay, one more thing. Yeah, about the flagella. Okay, when I showed you the picture of dinoflagellates, did you see two flagella?
3 flagellas.
Okay, three flagella. And mostly they have two flagella present. Okay, and see, wait. See, if you look very closely into their cell structure, do you see these boxes sort of look like honeycombs? Do you see them?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what are these? See, these are the stiff cellulose plates. like their cell wall is present in plate-like structure all over their body. Okay. And have you seen the uniform of the early time soldiers, that steel uniform that they used to wear, which is known as armor,
Yeah.
right? They
Yeah.
had a sword in their hand and they wore that steel uniform and a steel mask and everything.
Yeah.
That is an armor. So because it resembles to that, so they are known as armored dinoflagellates.
Like the ring structure, like steel, like how they had
Just
rings.
plates that are present on their body. They sort of give, like, the soldiers, when they used to go for fighting, they used to wear the plates only, right? It was the plate
Yeah,
like
yeah.
structure, so that nothing, the what is that, the arrow won't struck them, right? So that was the armor. So this sort of, not exactly, but sort of gives the appearance of armor only. That is why they are known as armored dinoflagellates. You can find them in many dinoflagellates. Okay. Now, so the cell wall contains stiff cellulose plates on the outer surface, because of which this is known as armored dinoflagella. The flagella is present, and usually the flagella are two in number. Okay, one is a longitudinal flagella and one is a transverse flagella. It is with the position that the flagella is present. Okay, one is longitudinal, one is transverse. Now, most commonly appearing dinoflagellates are red dinoflagellates. And the examples are goniolates and gymnodium. Very important. Again, this point of dinoflagellates is very important. The red dinoflagellates divide very rapidly and make the sea appear red in color, and this phenomena is known as red tide. So, like in many MCQs, you'll find a question like the red tide appears because of which organism? So they'll give you 4 options, 4 different organisms, and one of which will be maybe goniolax or gymnodium. So you have to choose that. Yeah.
So they'll give both, or they'll give like one of them?
They'll give one of them, obviously. One of them. Or if they'll give both, then they'll give one
Both
option
are
like
the
A and
answer.
B. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll give an option like that. Now, for defense mechanism, they release certain toxins that are known as saxitoxins. These toxins can destroy the predator. Clear? So this was about dinoflagellates. Any doubts? Now talking about euglenoids. Now these are the ones that are fresh water. They do not live in marine water. They cannot live in the salt area. And euglenoids, again a very important point about them is that they are the connecting link between plants and animals. They are said to be connecting link between plants and animals because it shows autotrophic and heterotrophic modes of nutrition. One organism can show 2 modes of nutrition. Autotrophic is for plants, heterotrophic is for animals. It shows both, so that is why people consider euglenoids as the connecting link between plants and animals. Okay?
It shows at autotrophic and heterotrophic, that's why.
Yeah, because it shows both, meaning plants show autotrophic, animals show heterotrophic. It is showing both, so it is sort of saying that I am connected to plants also, I am connected to animals.
So it has more of depth in it. Like it has Arabic and okay, understood.
No, it's not about anaerobic, aerobic. No, it's just that one organism can do both the types of nutrition. Okay. Now, they do not have cell wall. Cell wall is absent in them. Instead of the cell wall, they have a protein-rich layer surrounding their body, which is known as pellicle, and this makes their body flexible. It provides flexibility to the body of the euglenoid. Now, they also have flagella, and that is used for locomotion. The number of flagella is 2. One is a short flagella and one is a long flagella. Now, whenever sunlight is present, so they can do autotrophic mode of nutrition. When sunlight is absent, they can do heterotrophic, and in heterotrophic, they are predators. Okay, they will eat on the prey. Now, pigments that are present in the euglenoids are very similar to the ones present in the higher plants. That is why they can do autotrophic mode of nutrition. Again, because without chlorophyll, photosynthesis cannot happen.
Yeah.
Right? Autotrophic thing cannot happen. So euglena is clear? And yes, and the example is euglena. Example of euglenoid is euglena. Let us see a picture of this also. Seeing pictures makes it interesting, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Euglena. You see. Okay.
This also has a flagellum.
It can move. So it has a flagella. Okay. And one flagella is very reduced. It is very short. And the other flagella is long. It is so short that we can't actually see it. Okay. But it has two flagella. Okay. This is a euglena. This is the diagram, and it is a freshwater organism. Clear? It does not have a cell
Can
wall.
we drink it?
Eh?
It's a freshwater organism. So like, can we drink?
Can we drink it? That's a very peculiar question. Can we drink it? No, first of all, we shouldn't go to
It
a river
has
and pond and
chlorophyll, that's
take
why
the
we can't
water.
drink it. I know.
No, but it's very awesome of you to think that way, but no, we cannot drink it. And yes, we cannot drink it because we normally don't drink pond or river water like such, right? You don't go to a pond and drink water like that, right? You use filtered water, so obviously we can't drink it. But it is a microscopic, so even if someone goes and drinks the pond water, so maybe they are ingesting euglena. Who
They
knows?
might not know, but like it won't be harmful, right? Because
Yeah, it won't be harmful because they do not cause any disease as such, but maybe they have ingested euglena. But it's not very common to find them, like they're not in abundance.
okay.
It's not very common to find them. This is about the Euclid. Okay. Now, moving forward. Your question was awesome. Now coming on to slime mold. Now these are another group of organisms that has no more autotrophic mode of nutrition ever in their life. Okay. They are purely heterotrophic, and under that they are saprophytic, meaning they are decomposers. What they do is that their body moves along dead and decaying twigs and leaves and breaks it down for organic material. Okay, so they are saprophytic in their mode of nutrition. During favorable conditions, they form a large aggregation called as plasmodium. Okay, they like whenever their conditions are favorable, they form a structure just like how endospore formation took place in bacteria, right? Spore formation, but that took place in unfavorable condition. But here, under favorable condition, they form an aggregation that is known as plasmodium. And whenever there is the unfavorable condition, they will start dividing by forming spores. And these spores, actually first, the plasmodium will the plasmodium will form the fruiting body. Okay, fruiting bodies are structures that form the spores. So inside the fruiting body, spores will be made. And when these spores will be dispersed, new slime molds will be produced. Okay, so that is how they do their reproduction. Now these spores, they have cell wall. The spores are extremely resistant to survive hard conditions and they are dispersed by air. So this is their method of reproduction for the slime molds. Now, if we look at the slime molds, let us see about the plasmodium as well. This is how they look like. Now, they look very unique. But I don't think this is... Okay, see, this aggregation that you're seeing, this whole structure, that is a plasmodium. Okay, meaning it will be producing spores. Let us see about the plasmodium. Okay, it produces spores. because of which new organisms can be made. Okay. Now I'm moving forward. Coming on to the last, that is protozoa. Now they are also purely heterotrophic. They are parasites or predators. They are believed, again a very important line, they are believed to be most primitive relatives of animals as they are heterotrophic and they are capable of locomotion. Now they are more related to the animals because they have no autotrophic method in them. They are heterotrophic and they are also like they can move from
They
one place
can.
to another. Okay. And then there are four groups of protozoans, that is amoeboid, flagellated, ciliated, and sporozoan. Clear? But before moving forward, you should write down something because I've just been teaching and you've not written down anything yet, right?
Can I can I take the screenshot of it if you
See,
don't
yeah,
mind?
I would have let you do that, but screenshots are of no use because, once you note it down in the class, the thing stays in the mind. Screenshots,
Okay.
if you like this, it's of no use. That is why I always encourage writing in the class. Okay, I forgot in the middle. I should have let you write beforehand only. I got carried away. You can switch off your camera, write comfortably.
Can you scroll down? Ma'am, can you scroll down? Ma'am, can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Can you scroll down? Ma'am, you can scroll. Ma'am, can you move forward? Can you scroll down? Mom, can you scroll down? Mom, done.
Done?
1 second, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, done.
Okay, dear